All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open a complete playbook for anyone starting a new AI agency. We're going to show you exactly how to land those high-value clients and, more importantly, deliver real results fast. This isn't about hype. This is a practical, step-by-step guide to actually getting it done. Okay, so let's start with the big, scary problem that every single one of your potential clients is worried about. Businesses are throwing money at AI, but the outcomes, they're often a total disaster. I mean, a typical IT project already fails about 40% of the time, which is pretty bad. But AI projects, they're failing at a jaw-dropping rate of 80 to 85%. And look, this isn't just about code not working. For businesses, this is creating absolute chaos and a lot of frustration. And it gets worse. On top of those failed projects, the average company is burning through about $100,000 a year on what they call SaaS sprawl. It's this tangled web of different software tools that don't talk to each other, creating a total data nightmare. And when your data's a mess, well, good luck getting any AI to be effective. But here's the beautiful thing about chaos. It creates massive opportunity. All this failure and confusion has opened up a huge $50 billion consulting gap. You see, the real money isn't just in being a coder. It's in being the person who can bring clarity and a real strategy to businesses that are completely lost. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to break down that market gap, then show you how to get your foot in the door with a paid audit. We'll get into 3 specific high-value AI offers you can sell, how to build them so you actually make money, and we'll wrap it all up with a 60-day action plan you can start tomorrow. At the heart of this whole thing is a really big mindset shift. You've got to stop thinking of yourself as just a developer for hire. The real opportunity is to become an AI transformation partner, someone who guides businesses through all this complexity and helps them fundamentally change how they operate. And this right here is the perfect way to think about it. The number one reason these AI projects fail is a lack of context. A business has its data scattered across 10, 20, 30 different tools. So the AI, which is incredibly powerful, is essentially blindfolded. It's a genius that can't see the information it needs to actually do its job. Okay, so how do you actually get your foot in the door? The secret is to stop trying to sell some massive, scary, 6-figure AI project right out of the gate. Instead, you sell the one thing that every single confused executive is craving: a clear, simple plan. You sell them an audit first. And this is your framework. In week 1, you're basically a detective. You interview people, you map out their current processes. In week 2, you put on your architect hat and start designing potential solutions. Now, week 3 is absolutely key. You run a small pilot to show them a quick win, to prove this stuff actually works. So by the time you get to week 4, you're not just presenting ideas, you're delivering a concrete 12-month roadmap that's already backed by a real result. And this is how you make it a no-brainer for them. For most small to medium-sized businesses, you can package this whole audit for somewhere between $5,000 and $15,000. It's an easy yes for them, it builds a ton of trust, and guess what? It becomes your golden ticket to those much bigger 6-figure implementation projects down the line. All right, so you've nailed the audit, you've earned their trust. Now what? You need to come to the table with concrete solutions that solve their biggest, most expensive problems. And first things first, forget about those generic "can I help you" chatbots. You want to focus on specialized agents like these. The CX agent, which improves the entire customer journey, the revenue recovery agent, which goes after lost leads and brings back money you thought was gone, and the commerce agent, which is like a personal shopper for complex sales. Each one of these targets a specific, painful, and expensive business problem, which makes selling them way easier. Let's just double-click on that CX agent for a second, because it's a great example. See, the big shift here is moving from reactive customer support, fixing problems after they happen, to proactive customer experience, preventing problems before they even start. This system knows a customer's history, it anticipates what they might need next, and it builds loyalty with every single interaction. That's what makes it so incredibly valuable. Okay, let's talk about the really critical part, the nuts and bolts. You've sold the idea, but how do you actually build this stuff so that your profits don't just vanish into thin air as the client starts using it more and more? This is where the economics get really important. Look, no-code tools like Zapier or Make, they're fantastic. I mean, they're perfect for validating an idea or getting a pilot off the ground super fast. But the moment you hit any real kind of volume, their pricing model can absolutely crush your margins. This chart just lays it all out, plain and simple. at 100,000 tasks a month, look at the monthly cost. You're talking nearly $3,000 for a no-code tool versus maybe $250 for a custom code-first setup. But it's not just about the money. Check out the latency, the speed, and the success rate. We're talking a massive difference in performance, which for anything customer-facing is absolutely everything. So what does this all boil down to? By building and owning your own tech stack, you can get a per-task cost saving of up to 95%. 95. For a single client, that could mean tens of thousands of dollars a year straight back into your pocket or passed on as savings that make your offer impossible to beat. So the takeaway here is super clear, right? It's a strategic choice. Use no-code for what it's great at, getting quick validation on an idea, doing short-term projects. But for anything that's a core part of their business, that's recurring and is going to scale, you have got to be planning your move to a code-first approach from the very beginning. Okay, let's bring this all home. We've talked about the opportunity, how to get in, what to sell, and how to build it. Now, let's put it into a step-by-step action plan you can literally start using this week. And listen, this is not some 6-month drawn-out project. In less than 30 days, you can go from your first conversation to a live solution that is actively producing results. So by the end of the month, you're not just talking about what could happen, you're showing them what did happen with real data. And that's how you turn a small pilot into a massive, long-term contract. Okay, but where do you actually find these clients, right? For starters, just forget about running cold ads, at least in the beginning. The fastest way to get a yes is through warm intros. And you want to target local businesses. Think plumbers, clinics, roofers, companies that are often way behind on technology. Lead with something super simple they can immediately understand, like a booking bot. And here's the key. Always include a one-line ROI example in your very first message. Make the value crystal clear from second one. And that really brings us to the core idea, the big mindset shift that holds this entire playbook together. You're not selling a cool piece of tech. You are a strategic partner. You're not a tool builder. You're a business transformer. Your real value is in the transformation you enable. So that wraps up our playbook for today. The opportunity in front of you is absolutely massive, but it requires this kind of strategic approach. It really just leaves you with one question. Are you going to be someone who just builds chatbots, or are you going to be the one who builds the entire future of your clients' businesses? The choice is yours.